What's up everybody, welcome to Airsoft After Hours. In this video I'd like to share with you my RA-TECH 300 AAC Level 2 Custom. The gun is essentially a WE M4 open bolt, but what RA-TECH have done is upgraded almost every single part to harder wearing or steel parts in the quest to make it more reliable and a lot more robust. So we'll see how that turns out during the video. I'll also be doing a chrono test and shooting test just to show you how she runs. Hopefully this video will be able to help those of you out there who are considering this gun but are unsure if it's, if there are any problems or how she runs out of the box. I'll hopefully give you a view of that during the video and give you my final thoughts and personal opinion on this as well. This is actually a custom gun, as I have tailored it to my taste and changed some of the externals, but that shouldn't affect the function as most of the internals are still the RA-TECH Level 2 Custom. Thank you very much for watching and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so before I get into close-ups and explaining and talking about each part one by one, I'll like to give you a full view of the gun just so that you can see what she looks like right now as the completed build. Originally, the RA-TECH Level 2 AAC 300 Blackout came with this rail here, which is the URX free rail. It's 8-inch, I believe, and I'm not sure if this is accurate to any real gun, but I think it is. This is the rail it came with. Originally, the outer barrel ended there. But that was a bit short for my taste, so I changed it out to this. This is an NSR rail. It's in 13.5-inch length, and it's made by Mad Bull, so it's a Mad Bull replica of the NSR rail. The optic on the top there I have is a China-made replica Aimpoint T1 with a China-made replica IO cover in flat dark earth as well. The rear sight came as a set. These were also bought from, I believe it was China. This rear sight came with the front sight, which is non-foldable. The grip here is an actual real steel part. It is the Magpul MIAD grip, Mission Adaptable Grip, or MIAD grip, as some of you like to call it, and it came with the option I had was to choose with a what kind of innards it had. I went for the 5.56, I think it is, round holder for the inside there. So this is a real steel part. It just fit on there, no problems. And the stock here is an actual PTS stock. It's a Magpul CTR PTS stock, so it's the Airsoft version. It's a little bit wobbly on the actual gun, but it fits on there pretty easily. I'll just show you the wobble there. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, right, the mount there is made by, I'll give you a closer look. The mount there is made by G&P. Okay, I'll be talking about that in a minute when I do the close-ups. Here is the rail. This is a China-made Haley Strategic mount, and this replica Surefire flashlight is made by Night Evolution, I believe, and it comes with I purchased separately their dual-use switches, so it's got a momentary on and a constant on. Okay, but that's a replica. The flash hider is actually the flash hider that came with the original gun. I decided to keep this because I really like the pinging sound that it makes. Okay, as you can see, this is the receiver. It is the RA-TECH forged receiver, so it's very, very robust. If you haven't seen the torture videos that people have done, torturing and basically trying to destroy this receiver, go check those out. It's a really eye-opener. You get to see just how strong the process is that they've used for this actual receiver. Now, as you can see, the markings on here are very, very clear and very crisp and very, very deep, very sharp. You've got the safe, the semi-auto and the full auto setting on this side. And if you look very closely up here, you have the AAC, Advanced Armament Corporation logo up here with their wording. There is the keyhole marking here, which actually sticks out. It's very, very prominent. And as you can see, the coating on this is, I'm thinking it should be hard anodized. I've actually knocked and dinged this quite a bit, but it hasn't worn any paint off whatsoever, or coating. The coating has stayed on. It's very, very tough, and it seems to, I think it's going to stay on there no matter what you do to it, so I'm very happy with that. So this receiver gets a thumbs up from me. I'm very happy with it. It's incredibly robust. Moving on to this, I believe they uprated this this forward assist, but I can't be sure, and I couldn't really find the information online, but I believe this is uprated. It is made of steel. As you can see, the castle nut here is made by New Age. It is a steel castle nut, and the receiver end plate here is also made of steel. That's also made by New Age as well. The receiver pins are actually made of steel. Okay, I'll give you a close-up of this receiver end plate in a minute. I'll talk about that. There's a little bit that needs to be said about that. But this dust cover here is also made by New Age, and it's made of steel. Basically the pin and everything, all about it, is made of steel. So that's very good. The only problem is, on my particular rifle, I don't know if this is the same with all the other RA-TECH Level 2 customs, the dust cover does not close. The bolt is actually in the way of this retention part here. Okay, so it sticks out too much and it interferes with the bolt. So there's no way I can close that, which is a bit of a shame. It's not going to take a lot of work to modify to make it close, but it's work and it's something you have to do, so that's something to look out for. But it's made of steel, which is a good thing, I guess. Okay, right, moving on to that end plate that I was talking about. Okay, so this is the receiver end plate that I was talking about, this part here. As you can see, it's not been machined perfectly, I should say, or it's not been machined very clearly. I'm not sure what would happen to why this has been caused, why this is like that. It looks like some sort of pitting or bad machining, but it has these this pitting all the way around this receiver end plate, so I'm not too happy about that. This part is steel, but it's made by New Age, so that's a bit of an eyesore. Okay, so turning the receiver around, you can see the clear markings on this side and the laser engravings up top there. These are very, very clear and crisp, just off-white, so it looks very nice, pretty accurate to the pictures that I've seen to the actual AAC receivers. And here is the engravings on the lower receiver. So you can see that the AAC markings are very, very crisp, very clear, and can be seen pretty clearly from quite a distance away. So that's very nicely done. And this is the engravings on this side. As you can see, there's a little bit of a spelling error there. I'm not sure if that was deliberate for legal issues, but it's there. But it's not very noticeable. You know, it's not a deal breaker in my opinion. And it's very nice. This bolt catch, I believe, has been uprated to a it's either an it's an RA-TECH one, I believe, and it's made of steel. And as you can see here, the Magpul MIAD grip, the MIAD grip, has a little bit of a gap there installed on this receiver. It might just be the grip. Okay. Also, I'll give you a quick look at the front of the receiver here. You can see, if I just wipe off the moisture marks, you can see that there is actually a forge line here, and that was actually created by the forge process, I believe, during manufacturing. Okay, if you actually look inside the receiver, you can appreciate just how beefy this is. Look at the magwell part there. This wall here all around is very, very thick and incredibly robust, you know. Okay, the good thing about this receiver is it is when it's completely put together and in one piece, there's no wobble or any play. The top is actually secured to the lower receiver very, very well via these two pins, but that can be a bit difficult to remove when you're actually trying to take it apart. Luckily on my MIAD grip, I keep a dummy 5.56 round, and I actually use this as the takedown tool to knock out the pins, just to bring out the lower receiver, just to disassemble the lower receiver, so that comes in handy. As you can see, looking on the inside of the lower receiver, this is an uprated trigger box. This is actually a RA-TECH full trigger box, and what it has is all the internals are uprated to steel, including the hammer and the roller, which is very good. So usually on WE M4s this would be a very good part to upgrade, but it includes it. Obviously this is a RA-TECH level 2 build, so that's all included. Okay, the bolt catch here is made also by RA-TECH. It is their steel bolt catch. Now, RA-TECH have been known to release some sketchy batches of parts. Sometimes they would release very, very good parts that would last absolutely ages, through hundreds and hundreds of thousands of rounds probably, and then suddenly they would for some reason release the same part using a milder steel. Obviously when that happens, people who upgrade more than one WE M4 platform end up finding out that one of their uprated parts, their uprated bolt catch, has snapped on their newest one after only a few usages. So that's a bit worrying that a company would do that. But this seems to be holding up just fine on my particular rifle. I don't know if maybe I got a really good batch, but if this does start playing up, or if this wears out very, very quickly, I will leave a description and a comment in the comment section saying the what has broken or what has worn out very quickly. But I've used it a few times so far, and it's not given me any trouble, and I can't see anything really chipping away or wearing off just yet, but we'll have to see, and I'll let you guys know. Okay, looking at the this buffer here. Okay, it comes my gun actually came with two of these springs. This is the stiffer one. It also came in a box, was a weaker spring. I'm guessing that's for winter use, or if it was a colder climate, then I could change over the spring and hopefully it would cycle slightly better. But it seems to work just fine in using the stiffer spring. Okay, right, this is the weighted buffer. It's pretty heavy. The good thing about this is not only does it have a rubber cushioning part on the top there, a rubber buff, but also it is spring loaded, so it can take the impact to the top, and also it has a little bit of suspension, so it's like a double protection sort of thing, just to make sure you're not when you're firing, it's not slamming and stopping there and making a lot of hard shock. Basically, it actually absorbs some of the impact, which is very good. That should help with longevity. Okay, this is just a CTR PTS stock that you've seen if you've checked out some of my other videos. What's fallen out? Right, these are the spacers that go into the buffer tube. They put two of these in there, and it seems to be functioning perfectly with these in. It's kind of like I guess they fine-tuned the gun to make sure the rate of fire wasn't too sluggish, and the bolt only goes back to a certain distance, and I guess two of these buffers makes it run perfectly, I guess, in my opinion anyway. I kind of like the way it runs at the moment. I think you may be able to short stroke it even more by putting some coins in the back there, or increasing the length of this, but you can experiment if you have this, but I'm pretty happy with the way it runs with just these two in there. I think they've done a very good job. Okay, I'm now going to talk about one of the minor problems which you may run into when you run this gun. Okay, this goes with most platforms, but I can show you on this, as I have a magazine that is doing the problem right now. As you can see on the lower receiver, this silver part here is the knocker valve, or valve knocker, and what that does is that is spring loaded, as you can see. What happens is when I insert the magazine, the release valve, gas release valve, goes up and pushes it up. When you rack the charging handle back and it pulls the bolt back, it will then engage this hammer, pulling that back. The valve knocker then goes back and down, and it is now in line with the release valve on the magazine. When you release the trigger, it punches forward and punches the the release valve, thus releasing the gas and taking the shot. Now, this is one of the problems, not really a problem, but something that can happen. The release valves, how far out they stick out, will depend on the ambient temperature, what type of gas you use, and also the valve itself. Bearing in mind every single valve and every single part on every single magazine is different. So you may have varying, varying magazines of the same type of magazine, if you get what I mean. Right, okay, so I'll put this in here first. This is not cocked. This is the functioning magazine. As I put the magazine in here, you can see that the valve knocker is resting on top of its release valve. That's that silver part there. As I pull the hammer back, it retracts and goes down in line. It is now in line with the, don't know if you can see that, the release valve. And if I take the shot now, it's gonna strike straight into it. Okay, so that's how a magazine should work. On this magazine, I have marked with an X on the bottom. This particular magazine, because I'm using a high pressured gas in here, guarded gas, and the temperature is quite high in here, this valve has actually stuck out a little bit too much. It may just be the valve itself. Maybe when it was installed, it was, I don't know, 0.5 millimeter sticking out too far. Okay, so this part here, the release valve, sticks out too much. Now what that does is when you insert the magazine and you pull the, you cock it, it pulls the valve knocker back. But if you look very closely, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, the valve knocker can't go back far enough to drop down, so it's still resting on top of the release valve. It's gone back, but it's not gone down. Okay, so what happens is when I take the shot, is it just fires forward. It's not in line, basically. It cannot drop down far enough to be in line with the release valve to strike it. Okay, so I'll show you that again. Pulled it back. I'll just make sure with my own eyes. Yep, it's not going down because the valve on this sticks out too much, and if I take the shot, nothing will happen. Okay, what you do to alleviate this problem is find out whichever magazine you're having problems with. As you can see when I look at this, yep, that to me looks like it's sticking out too far, just a little bit. What you can do is take the shell off this magazine. It's very, very easy. You just take the base plate off and then pull the shell off, I think, and then you can, I don't know, it's best to disassemble everything so you don't get metal shavings everywhere, but you know, basically you can just file that down or sand it down a few microns until it literally doesn't foul the valve striker. Okay, so once you've done that, that should function properly. It's not really a problem with the gun, but more of the valves on the each magazine that needs to be checked. I'm very lucky. There's only one that's well, I'm not very lucky. I'm just saying that there's only one that's happened to me. I should say I'm unlucky because there's one that's actually doing that. Okay, but this is the magazine that does that. I've marked it down. I'll probably modify it later. Don't worry about that part there wearing down too much. It's actually made of steel. Okay, so filing that down, there shouldn't be a problem. Just make sure there are no sharpened bird edges because you don't want to damage your valve striker. Okay, that's one of the minor problems. Moving on. Okay, now moving on to the upper receiver or upper part of the gun. I'll start with the front section. You can see that this is the flash hider that was included. It's made of steel, quite heavy and very nice, and it makes that lovely pinging sound that I like. Okay, this is the, as I said, the China-made adjustable front sight. It's actually a tower sight, which is non-foldable. I really enjoyed the look of that, actually, on that rail, because without it, it just looked a bit plain, in my opinion. The Night Evolution flashlight, which is the Surefire replica, has a Surefire marking on there, and just some random serial number. That looks quite nice. It's a little bit shiny in my opinion, but I don't really require the real steel flashlight. This is just for my you know, my personal gun, just to play around with. Okay, I also, as I said, purchased the dual use switch, which goes on the front there. It's really good if you like shooting with the C-clamp grip. It comes in very handy because you can momentarily activate it, which is very good. This is the China-made Haley strategic mount, which fits straight onto the Night Evolution flashlight and mounts onto the side of the NSR rail there. Okay, this is the Noveski NSR 13.5 inch rail. Comes with some nice markings, pretty clear, but this one's a replica made by Madball. As you can see, the front rail there, mounted on the receiver, is not flush. Okay, it's actually about, I'd say about 1 millimeter too high. Okay, I've put this ladder rail here because I do grip the gun quite a lot for on that section there when I hold the gun. It's a pretty slim rail. You're probably, you guys are probably familiar with these rails now. They've been out for quite a long time, and they are the key mod rails. Okay, one thing I was disappointed about, a little bit disappointed about, was that the rail didn't actually come with any of these attachment rails. Okay, so I had to purchase that one separately. I mean, after spending all the money on the rail, you could have at least included just one of these for me, you know, Madball. But you didn't, so I had to buy one separately, which is, you know, I wasn't too happy about that, to be honest. But I only needed one of them anyway for the flashlight, because I like to keep it actually slimline and plain. Right, okay, so moving on to the back portion, or the upper receiver part of the gun. I'm going to show you the sight now. This is a quick detach mount made by G&P. I can't remember what replica this is of. Just put some tape on the bottom there just to sort of protect the rail when it's clamped on. Now this replica aimpoint sight is actually a China-made replica. It has 11 brightnesses. I'll just put it on. What's it gonna find? Oh, there we go. Yeah, it has 11 brightnesses. Okay, it's pretty. It's a pretty good replica, and it was pretty cheap, and it holds 0. This one, so I'm very happy about it. This is an actual IO cover, a replica IO cover in Flat Dark Earth FDE, and it's called IO cover because when you actually flip it to the side, it looks like an I and an O. Okay, I think the real one's made by Tango Down, but this is just a cheap China replica that, you know, does its job for me. It has the look. I don't really need the real one, not for a replica sight. Right, this I really like this mount because it's so slimline. You know, I'm not a big fan of the blocky riser blocks that mount onto the rails. I actually like it pretty slimlined, and you know, if there's any type of special patterning on the mounts, then I'm happy about that too. But this one looks very nice in my opinion. The GNP one was a little bit too long. Okay, as you can see, the rear part just after the screw goes there, and the front part originally came to here as well. I had cut that down, sanded it off and repainted the front, and put 2 new screw holes in the actual sight, and screwed it in through there, so it's held in solidly by 4 screws, and it's not very noticeable. Okay, but it wasn't fitting when I first got it. There are other China replica sights I've got that are slightly longer than this one, and it fits on those perfectly, but I'm actually using this one with it, so I needed to modify it a little bit. This is the rear sight, which came with the front sight, also made by somewhere in China. Okay, for very cheap. I'm not sure what this is a replica, which sight this is a replica of, but it looks very nice in my opinion. It goes with the build, and I can actually, when I mount the replica aimpoint T1 on here, it actually co-witnesses perfectly. Okay, so I'm really happy about that. Let me see, have I talked about the upper receiver? Yep, okay, and I'll just close this to show you that it does close without the bolt in it, because this part here interferes with the bolt. May modify that later, or I may just leave it as it is. Okay, moving on. I almost forgot to mention one of the in fact the most important upgraded part on this gun is the new age steel hop-up unit, which is located just in there. You probably won't be able to see it, but it's just the hop-up unit that if you've seen my other video about the WE-M4 and its problems, then you'll know that that's a problem area. The original one is, I think, made of pot metal, but New Age has addressed this issue and released their steel hop-up chamber, which is brilliant because it now takes all the impact and it doesn't wear away too easily. Now that the receiver is also forged, that can take quite a beating as well, so those two put together, you have a very, very solid platform. I believe it's probably it will probably never break, or you know, that's what I say anyway. Okay, right, the also the outer barrel, as I said earlier, the gun originally came with this very, very short rail. As you guys know, the one of the best things about 300 Blackout is its ability to be fired from a shorter barrel and still has some very good ballistics, I believe. But this is Airsoft, so I didn't really require that, so what I did was actually lengthen the barrel. Okay, now the gun originally came with a RA-TECH Precision inner barrel. I think it was a 6.01mm type bore barrel, but I'm not too sure, and the barrel actually ends there. Okay, but what I have done is installed a barrel extension. Okay, now the inner barrel, later on I may change to a longer barrel to actually suit it, but the inner barrel at the moment is the original inner barrel that came with the RA-TECH Level 2, so it just comes up to there. All I have done is installed a extension section, an outer barrel aluminum extension which goes from there to there, and mounted the flashlight on top of that. Okay, so but it seems to be shooting fine. It's at the FPS I needed at, and it's pretty accurate as well. One of the things you will notice is that it has no fake gas tube or block on the front. That's because I've removed that, and I didn't really feel the need to install that back on there for realistic for realism, you know, whether it's there or not. I usually don't notice it anyway, and if I think it needs more realism, I'll probably install it on later, but it's just added weight at the moment, so I'll just leave that out. Okay, now moving on. Okay, now let's talk about the internals of the upper receiver. I'm going to start with the bolt. This is the RA-TECH Complete Bolt Carrier. Complete bolt meaning it comes with the nozzle, aluminum nozzle, and inside the aluminum nozzle it also comes with an NPAS system. For those of you that don't know, the NPAS is a negative pressure system which is adjustable for FPS. The bolt carrier itself is very nice. It's made of steel with a marking on the front there. The marking is not very clear, but it is done quite nicely. Okay, it's quite deep. And it's quite nice, I suppose. On the back here, you can see that the steel bolt is actually threaded, and that is because there is a weight which you can use, an actual steel weight which can be threaded on there to make this bolt even heavier than it already is. But I didn't get the weight included with this gun, which is strange. I thought they would include that, but I guess maybe they fine-tuned this and felt that if you added even more weight to the already very heavy bolt, including the weight of the steel buffer on the rear, it would just be too much. So I'm guessing that's why they didn't include it. I'm hoping they didn't forget to put that in there. Okay, the aluminum nozzle is very nice. As you can see, it uses the single O-ring design, the same as the WE M4 plastic nozzle. The only difference is it's made from a very nice aluminum, and it should, in theory, last longer than the plastic one, or be slightly harder wearing. So that's quite nice. Okay, now talking about the NPAS, it's inside there. You probably won't be able to see it, but it is adjustable for FPS. This is the adjustment key that it comes with, and it just slots in there when you find your bearings and get it attached correctly, slotted all the way in. There we go. Then it's adjustable if you turn it clockwise or anti-clockwise. Okay, so I've adjusted mine to I think it's 360 to 370 FPS, and I've left it at that. Now, the originally, the The NPASs had a very bad rap. The first batch, or the first generation that they released, were known to be problematic in that they would be very inconsistent. You would have be able to adjust the FPS, but there'd be no way to officially test it because FPS would be very low and then very high randomly and sporadically, so that was a bit of a failure. I do believe RA-TECH addressed that by releasing a video showing people how to make the nozzle more consistent by you had to disassemble the nozzle and wrap a certain part in Teflon tape, I believe. I think this may be a Generation 2 nozzle, as they have I think they brought out a revamped aluminum nozzle, which is NPAS system that is more consistent, and they say their new generation, or their second generation one, is very consistent and all issues have been addressed. I'm thinking this may be the Generation 2, as it is very consistent. Mine is performing very well and very consistent. Okay, right, now let's let me see, have I covered everything on that? Right, okay, let's go into the problems I was having with this complete bolt set. The nozzle is held in by a spring. The spring is held in by a spring retention pin, which slots into the side there. Normally you just slot it in and just tap it in after you've lined it up with the spring. Mine came from the factory like this. Now there's a big gouge on the side there. Not sure what created that, but it's the way it came. It doesn't affect function, but it doesn't look very nice, so I wasn't too happy with that. Also, this is the retention pin. As you can see, after installing it, they must have hammered it completely flat, because it's wedged in there and there's absolutely no way I can get this out. It's just completely wedged in there, so that's probably going to have to stay in there forever. If this nozzle breaks, or if I need to take it out for whatever reason, I'm going to have to take out the top nozzle guide, the side nozzle guide, pull it out further, remove that O-ring, clamp the rear down, and then twist it in whichever way it comes off, which is a bit annoying. You know, I wasn't too happy about that. I like to have my guns to arrive so that I can service them properly when I need to. Unfortunately, obviously that pin was too tight, so they had to use brute force and hammering, and they ended up flattening the thing in there completely. So, you know, I was not too happy about that either. Okay, the next problem I'm going to go on to was this nozzle here. This front part was very sharp around the outside there, and every time I took a shot and that would go into the hop-up rubber, you know, it all slam back to battery, that will go into the chamber, and this part here will go into the hop-up rubber. It was so sharp that it was actually cutting part of the hop-up rubber away. How to counteract that? I used just a very fine sandpaper and sanded the outside of it, and now it's kind of buttery smooth, goes in with no problems, and it hasn't been cutting it ever since. So that's not a big problem, but something you have to do, so it's extra work, so do note about that. Also, the next problem that I encountered was this part here, which I believe is the nozzle guide, the top nozzle guide. What that does is that slots into the actual bolt, and it has 2 feet on the bottom like that, and the nozzle actually slides like this. It keeps it straight and true. Okay, that was actually loose, and what I had to do was take everything apart to have a look at why it was loose. I removed this hex screw here, took that off. While I took that off, I noticed that there was a very nice laser engraved RA-TECH logo underneath that gas key, so I was quite happy about that. It's just a little thing that made me quite happy. And then I noticed that this nozzle guide could actually come off. It was so loose that it could come off. So the only thing holding it on there was this fake gas key. So I went to screw the screw down and noticed that no matter how much I tightened it or screwed it, it just would not tighten. It looked as if the threads were worn out or not even threaded, which was strange since this bolt is a brand new one that came with the gun. I purchased everything brand new. So that was disappointing. I had to change the screw to a one with larger threads. I don't know what size threads or what size screw it was, because it was actually from my spares box, but it fitted in there nicely, so I used that. That's actually held in there now using the screw that I changed it over to, and it's very, very tight. It's not going to come out, and this gas key kind of holds it in place tight as well. It doesn't wobble, and it's solid, absolutely rock solid, and it seems to function fine. So do note that. I'm not too sure if that being loose, I'm not too sure if that's going to affect function. It didn't seem to affect function on mine, but I wasn't happy that it was loose. Since there was a screw on top, it should be, I believe it should be really, really tight. Okay, so that's another thing to note there. Other than that, it seems to function fine. I'm very happy about this bolt. As you can see, this part here is where the bolt catch engages. Mine has been used quite a few times, not a lot, but a few times, and it doesn't seem to be wearing out too quickly, so I'm quite happy about that. I'm not sure if these bolts are hardened or not even sure if that's possible. If they haven't been heat treated or hardened, maybe it's possible that you could do it yourself, but I'm not going to. This is how I'm going to leave. This is how it arrived, and this is how I'm going to leave it, and see how long it lasts. Okay, so I'm quite happy about that. Okay, I'm now going to give you a visual representation of how the bolt runs. I'm also going to discuss a little bit about the functionality of the bolt first, just so that you guys get a clearer picture of what's going on during the slow motion footage. A lot of the times, this is how normally the bolt runs when you take the shot. The gas goes up into the nozzle. It also expands, creating pressure so that this bolt can go back. It will get to a certain position, sometimes there, where the bolt actually pulls onto the back of the nozzle. The nozzle will then go back. The BB sitting here will then get hit by the ramp, which is attached to this nozzle, go up and be loaded into the next chamber. If you're holding onto the full auto and doing full auto, it will then take another shot, go back, pull that back, and then load the next BB, obviously firing the BB at a certain point. But there can be times when I've had this sometimes on some of my plastic nozzles, and sometimes on some other platforms, when either the gas drops now, where it doesn't load the BB, and normally it's because the nozzle isn't retracting. So what happens is you take the shot and it goes back, maybe loads, goes back and loads the next BB, goes back forward, but on the next shot, if you're doing full auto, it will just go back and it won't retract, and this will just go back forward. So you take another shot and it'll do the same thing again, so no BBs are coming out, but it's actually firing, that's sometimes something that'll happen to me, or happened to me previously on other builds, not this gun. That can be caused by a lot of things. Maybe just to mention a few, maybe the BBs in the magazine were creating too much pressure on the underside of the nozzle, therefore keeping it locked in place so it can't actually retract past the BBs. Maybe the nozzle is stuck inside the chamber there, or maybe the gas pressure has dropped due to temperature or excessive use or expansion, temperature drop, pressure being less than optimal, then it cannot do its job. So it can be caused by a number of things, but it's never happened on this gun to me. So far it's been fantastic. It's been running in warm-ish temperatures, not hot, but it's been okay, and it's never done that to me on any of my magazines. I'm only running version 2 magazines. Okay, so I'll give you a slow motion capture of that now. Okay, so hopefully you saw that. If you were watching very closely, you could see that the nozzle was actually coming back at the perfect time, guiding back very smoothly. There was very little minimal bolt bounce, and it was in my eyes running very close to perfectly. Okay, so that's one of the things I'm very happy about. Also capturing that on slow motion, you can actually see more clearly any of the problems, and you can, if you're having problems, you can diagnose them easier as well with slow motion footage. So that seems to be running perfectly, so I'm very, very happy about that. Now, just a quick word about magazines. The design of this magwell, okay, I've read somewhere that RA-TECH haven't replicated the internal diameter or dimensions of the WE-M4 perfectly. That means this gun is very selective on what magazines it runs. Now, I've read all sorts of things. I've read that Generation 1 doesn't work. Generation 3 has its problems. This is what I've read. Okay, this is not what I know personally. I don't actually know what magazines will run in it perfectly. All I know is that I have run about 5 or 6 different Generation 2 magazines and 1 Generation 3 magazine, and this gun has been perfect. It came packaged with a 1 Generation 3 magazine, and it seems to be working perfectly with those. So my one is good with Generation 2, definitely, and 1 Generation 3. This isn't a definitive answer. I'm only telling you what my gun personally runs with. For all I know, they're probably all manufactured ever so slightly differently, which may which may have slightly slight differences in tolerances, meaning different magazines work with different guns. I'm not sure. All I can tell you is what mine has run with. Generation 2 is fine, and Generation 3 is fine. Okay, but you're going to have to experiment. Hopefully this knowledge, coupled with the knowledge of people testing their own magazines in their own guns, the RA-TECH Level 2 guns or the forged receivers, we can put all this collective information together and hopefully find out exactly what magazines will and will not work in this platform. I'm told that the is it the GI mags, the short 20 round ones that are straight, I'm told they definitely do not work in this platform, okay, which is a real big shame. That's a big shame. Okay, let's move on. Okay, it's now time to do a chronograph test. For this test, I'm going to be using a Madball version 2.1 chronograph, and I'm going to be using a WE-M4 version 2 magazine, loaded with Tokyo Marui 0.2 gram BBs. They are the Tokyo Marui Perfect Hit BBs. The ambient temperature is 23.5 degrees Celsius, which is about 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, and magazines are loaded with green gas. Okay, here we go. .384.5. 381.1, 381.1, 377.8, 381.1, 381.1, and that's it. Okay, right, just to explain to you guys again, the bolt didn't lock back because on the WE magazines, there is actually this function switch here, which when you push it forward, it disengages the bolt lock function. Okay, that should give you a good idea of the FPS I'm getting on this gun and the consistency. Okay, just to show you guys that the bolt lock function works, I'm going to disengage this bolt lock disengager. Okay, push it to the, I think I got it the other way around just a minute ago. Push it forward and it has the engagement pin there. Okay, just to show you that the bolt catch actually works. Okay, moving on. Okay, I'm now going to do a dry fire test for you guys. Both the magazines I'm going to be using are the WE-M4 Generation 2 or version 2 magazines. both of them loaded with green gas. The ambient temperature is 24 degrees Celsius, which is about 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, I'm actually wearing my wristwatch on this side just to hopefully give you a visual representation of how much recoil I'm actually feeling on this rifle. Hopefully that can help you see. Okay, here we go. First magazine. Semi. And full auto. Back to semi. Okay. And the second magazine, I guess, again, it's a generation 2 again, loaded with green gas. I'm going to hold on to the flash hider there. It's ringing a bit and it may get annoying for you guys. And full auto. Okay, back to semi. Alright. And that concludes the dry fire test. Okay, it's now time for the final thoughts and my opinion, my personal opinion of this gun. I personally think it's a really good platform, and I'll tell you why. The price is about $660 US. That's what I paid for it. I'm not sure what they're going for now, but that's how much I paid, and I consider that price reasonable. And for that, you get a fully upgraded, functional, working, well-designed open bolt WE-M4, all reinforced. Obviously, this is the, as I said before, the RA-TECH LV2 custom. It doesn't take it. One thing that I was really happy about on this gun, on this platform, is that it didn't take much effort to get it running perfectly and smoothly. It run quite well, pretty well out the box, almost flawless. And I was just expecting it to run that way since it was fine-tuned at the factory and at the shop. And I was just expecting to purchase it, bring it home, and you know, away you go. There were some issues which I have highlighted in the video, as you've seen, and I've talked about the fixes about that. Luckily, these fixes, these are very minor problems, and there's not much to worry about. The second thing I'm also very happy about on this gun is if anything breaks, replacement parts are reasonably priced. They're not, if I go for the RA-TECH reinforced parts, they're not super cheap, but they are a lot cheaper than the competition. Okay, so if I was to buy, I don't know, an M4 from another company, made by another company, and choose to upgrade it from there, I'm talking about the really expensive ones, you're looking at double the price of this, and that's that will have issues also. So I'm very happy about this price wise. The another one big bonus for this gun is the magazines. They're WE M4 version 2 and version 3, I should say. Magazines seem to be working great. They hold their gas, they don't leak, easy to fix, pretty light, and I'm very happy about that. They seem to function flawlessly, minus that one valve issue that I was telling you about, but you may not experience that. It's not really a problem. It's just not a design flaw, but the tolerance issues. Okay. Other than that, I think this gun is fantastic. If you're thinking about getting into gas blowback rifles, this is one to consider, since it is reasonably priced. When you purchase the gun, everything is already reinforced. There's pretty much not a lot you can do to the internals to get it even stronger or more reliable. You could fine tune it a little bit, but that's pretty much it. So really easy to get into, and the price, as I say, is reasonable, and I'm very happy about it. If you are obsessed with gas blowback rifles like I am, and really enjoy playing around with them, then also you may consider this one at $660 US. It's roughly about half the price of some of the higher end gas blowback rifles out there, but what you get is this. Basically, you're not getting extreme realism. Okay, that's not included in the internals. I'm talking internal wise here. It's not absolutely almost perfectly realistic like some of the other manufacturers out there that make these gas blowback replicas, but what you do get is functionality and reliability, and the strength. Okay, it's all reinforced, so in theory it should last a very long time, and you shouldn't be having many problems. Okay, so that about wraps it up. This video is pretty long. Hope this helps someone out there. Thank you very much for watching, and I guess, you know, I'll see you later. Coffee's gone cold again.